Welcome back. This is the Corporate Radar segment, and on Corporate Radar, CNBC TV18 is starting a new and exciting column from today, The Descendants. We will feature India Inc.'s big business families represented by two generations, the current leadership along with their Gen Next. We kick off the series with Kishore Biyani and his daughters Ashni and Avni, and they will be speaking to us about the strengths and the baggage of the senior Biyani and what the junior Biyanis bring to the table. Just to introduce you in greater detail, Kishore Biyani, Group CEO of the Future Group. Ashni Biyani in blue, she is the director at Future Ideas, and Avni Biyani is the concept head of Food Hall. We are on an empty stomach without breakfast, so the very concept, the very thought of all the cakes that you sell there is a little stomach churning at this point in time. But let's discuss more serious issues. First of all, thank you, all of you, for joining us today. Mr. Biyani, where was the need to bring them so young onto the table? Where did you think that the group needed young ideas or different ideas at all?
I think it's not about getting them in the business. I think they had a choice, and I think we were a business family, so you discuss business day in, day out, morning to evening, opening stores, going for the openings and doing multiple things. I think they also generated interest and joined in. They were not forced to join in as such.
All right, let me get your opening comments as well. What do you think is baggage as far as the older generation or the senior Biyani is concerned? What is it that you think you need to sweep out, if at all, since you are the ideator?
So I think that sometimes we focus a lot on the past. So maybe it's about moving beyond the past and not having benchmarks of the past, that we can focus and look forward into the future actually.
Is a big part of your ideating the fact that you are in a digital world? Is that the big focus?
Yes.
Or is it much beyond that?
So currently a lot of our work is in understanding the digital space. A lot of our work is in understanding how a participative movement is possible today because of the digital medium. We are doing a lot of work in understanding that and trying to apply all of this into the business today. It applies itself in various ways, right from the way we market ourselves to even small things like the logo or identities that we create for brands, to the spaces or the stores that we design. So I think it has a large influence, and you'll see a lot of it coming through in short times to come.
All right. Well, before I come to the food hall concept itself, Mr. Biyani, how do you see the group itself over the next, say, 5 years? I won't go to 10 since that's taking a lot of call on the future. Over the next 5 years, how much will the food business contribute? How much will brick and mortar contribute? How much will lifestyle contribute? And how much new businesses, maybe finance?
We have created a business plan and a scenario planning for 2018 to 2020. And we have a very simple model now for 2020. How can we make 10 million people shop 100,000 rupees each through various formats? Okay. And I think so. We believe by 2018-20 we'll be more of a data company, more of a technology company. And I think it's more going to be about data now. So we have customers, data of 3 crore people who are regular shoppers with us. How can we make them 1 crore people shop 100,000 rupees each? So that's a business of idea of close to 100,000 crores. And that's a big business idea. And for that, we have various formats to deal with it, whether it's in fashion, whether it's in food, or whether it's in home. And we are vertically integrated on fashion, and we are now getting vertically integrated on food. So that's been the strategy. I think 2020, if we can implement this, it's a big idea which needs to be implemented.
Okay. So what is, let me start with food, since that was one of your first businesses. Avni, how do you see the vision in the food business? First of all, what exactly is your own piece in the food business? And how do you see it evolving?
So I run a very niche concept called Food Hall. We have about 6 stores now. It's at the most premium end of the spectrum. So right from KBFP to Bazaar to a Food Hall. Food Hall is probably sitting at the top end. So we sell a huge variety of products, and a lot of it is imported. So Food Hall is the only place in the country where you'll get tomatoes at 2,500 rupees a kilo. You'll get Hass avocados. You'll get to see 8 different varieties of mushrooms. We have sit-in cafes. So in that sense, it's become fairly popular, and we're present in Delhi, Gurgaon, Bombay, Pune. Going forward, I think with regards to the food business in the group, we've got a lot of interesting things planned. Food hall is actually a place that we use for experimentation and to tell us what are the new trends emerging and what is going to be the next big categories for tomorrow. So a lot of interesting ideas do come about with food hall. And now with the food park and with our KB's Fair Price convenience store format and Big Bazaar and food hall, we've got a very big distribution model through which we're going to make our food plan successful.
Okay. Quite clearly, this is a high-margin business compared to the food bazaar, which would be a low-margin business. How do you see that dichotomy, Mr. Biyani? Do you see eventually your business migrating to high-margin businesses?
I think the whole idea of getting into the back end of food is to look at the margins. Today, if you look at the food business, a lot of traditional Indian foods are not packaged in any form. So how can we create a packaging? How can we increase the shelf life? So that's what we are doing, putting up the food park. Our first food park has just started, and we are looking at 2 more food parks coming up. So the whole idea is to create an entire food distribution supply chain and create a lot of new products which are only sold through our distribution outlets. So we have a convenience store called KB's Fair Price, we have a Big Bazaar, and then we have food hall. So across the whole format, every format, I think we want to expand that and create the distribution model for the food business which you are building up.
Okay. Well, margins will obviously,
I think once you manage end-to-end supply chain, I think the margins are there. Okay. I think the whole idea of creating food park was to reduce supply chain cost by at least 10 to 15%. You reduce your marketing cost, and I think we can offer great prices to the consumers and still have a greater margin than what we get today.
Okay. But do you see the margin challenge continuing? I mean, let me refer to your criticism of Flipkart. And the way they organized their sales yesterday or did not organize it yesterday. What's the complaint?
I think there's no complaint. We believe that anybody can sell goods if you have to sell it below cost price. Okay. Anybody can sell goods. So I think I think nobody should sell goods below cost price. There is a business model. They would not be selling. There is no business model anywhere in the world where they are allowed to sell below cost price. Nowhere in the world anybody is allowed to sell below cost price.
So are you going to move against the company? Is there legal position?
That's not our subject. I believe there are laws in the land, and one should operate in the laws of the land. They can get into the technical guise that we are a marketplace, but who is funding them?
Okay.
Who is funding the losses?
No, but invariably in sunrise businesses, there will always be this kind of undercutting.
Not below cost price. Never ever.
Okay.
Not below cost price. How can you sell below the purchase price?
No, won't that challenge keep coming to you in the retail format?
As a policy, we never sell below cost price. We were never allowed to do so.
Okay, but others in the marketplace would have been doing it.
I think somebody is getting funded. If you get thousands of dollars every year, and you will keep on doing losses.
But all sunrise industries that happen.
Nobody sells below cost price. Tell me any industry which has sold below cost price.
A lot of internet companies in the initial periods are burning money.
Burning money is different. Burning money is different.
For instance, okay, a set-top box. At all points in time, the set-top box was sold below cost, and if I'm not mistaken, even now. No, I'm just taking this as an argument.
I think, but they were manufacturers of that. It's how you purchase it and sell it. You are buying somebody's product. If you buy a product from me at 100 rupees and you sell it at 80 rupees, how does it work?
Do you expect this challenge to keep coming in some form or the other?
Because I think things will keep on changing, but I think it's for somebody to talk about it also. So today, if you look at our sales in GMV, the gross merchandise value as they call it, we would be 30,000 crores. So I think these are all new terminologies which are being used to create excitement, to create perception. I think it's fair, but it's fair for them to say something. It's fair for us to also say something about it.
No, I'm just asking you whether the retail format, the format you are in finally, is going to constantly face margin challenges because of online or for a whole variety of reasons.
I somehow believe online has got a mind share today, not the market share. But in terms of mind share, they are now 50% of the mind share. In terms of business, they will be 0.2% of the business.
Yes, I mean, even at the best of times, they're going to be 7 or 8%.
Everybody wants to discuss this business, so we are also discussing it.
Okay. What are your plans?
I think we have discussed our omnichannel
Your
strategy.
much publicized, the Biyani Bezos handshake. What is the plan going ahead?
We are going to align with a e-commerce player to sell our brands and merchandise.
And that would be Amazon?
We are not talking about it, but definitely we have many products, we have many brands. Ultimately, they want to sell products and brands and services, and we have many to offer across every category, whether it's food, whether it's fashion, whether it's general merchandise, whether it's home, whether it's electronics.
Okay. So what, Ashni, would be the plan on digital itself? Since you are the ideator, what exactly do you have in place for your group in the digital space?
So there are various efforts underway. I think we have experimented with a format called Big Bazaar Direct that actually cuts through India and provides to India even where e-commerce companies currently have not been able to reach. We provide access to those towns and villages. It's a very Indian model of selling products where through a tablet we recruit and we sell with the help of the local traders and the kirana walas of that city. I think we've tasted some success in it. We are perfecting our back end before we scale up the venture and take it through all over India. We're also perfecting our infrastructure on the technology side to make that happen. I think that's a large venture that will unveil itself for all of India to consume and buy from. I think that's a large effort. We're in the process of creating many of our format sites. So for example, FBB will soon be available online. Similarly, there is a plan to rethink of how future Bazaar can be positioned. We're working on that. Hopefully in 2 weeks from now we can unveil that.
Okay. Do you see a lot of competition from something like, say, Big Basket? This space is now crowded with people who are trying to offer food products online. So is there, what are the challenges there? Is there a margin challenge there? Is there an advertising challenge? Do you simply have to scream louder to be heard?
No, I think...
When will it break even, for instance, the digital piece?
So on food, we've not understood the margin models of the food grocery retailers. What we're really focused on is building our convenience store network, and we want to do this city by city so that, like he said, we're going to build a strong food backend which can supply and build a very strong supply chain that can make convenience store retail possible in the country. I think we've discovered a very fantastic new model with KB's Fair Price. We've done 2 prototype stores in Mumbai right now. Very soon we'll want to scale this up. We already have 100+ stores in all of Delhi, which have been very successful. We have Big Apple there as well. So I think we have a very strong play with modern day convenience store networks, and we believe that India will continue to live in its neighborhoods. So these will continue to be very important ways in which we can interact, connecting it to the omni-channel strategy of the group. So these can become pickup points, these can become order points. So it actually helps us leverage the entire strength of the group.
But is not the India will live in its neighborhood concept now getting challenged? I mean, ordering online, it really doesn't matter which neighborhood you are in. You don't think that you will have to prepare for that concept getting destroyed altogether?
So I think we believe on this slightly differently. We believe that as we get more and more modern, we also cling to our roots that much more. So neighborhoods will evolve for sure, but I do not believe that people will stop living in neighborhoods today. In fact, every neighborhood we go into, every catchment we enter into, even today, whether it's Big Bazaar or a convenience store format or even a food hall, the first thing we do is map it to the 3 communities, 3 dominant communities that the catchment actually caters to, and ensure that our assortment plan is centered around those communities.
And it is it giving you good margins, this model?
Absolutely. It not only gives us the right margins, but it gives us the right customer share and the customer response, which is not fickle and not dependent alone on deals and discounts, right? It ensures that people have a relationship with us which is beyond deals and discounts. So we call this heart share.
Do you also go, Avni, into digital?
Yeah, so we're launching the food hall online platform soon. Just to take on the point that you said earlier, I think there's been a lot of talk regarding whether digital e-commerce is going to replace physical e-commerce, and I always find that argument a bit strange, because if you look in India and especially in cities, malls have become our public spaces. So if you ask people what they do on the weekends, they invariably end up visiting malls. So I don't think people are ever going to stop visiting malls, are going to stop physical shopping in that form, because what physical retailers bring to the table, like for example the amount of tastings, the amount of live experiences, the amount of interaction we have with customers in a store like Food Hall or even in a Big Bazaar or in a Central or brand factory that cannot be replicated online.
You will soon see extremely heightened sensorial experiences that we will deliver out of even Big Bazaars.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Okay.
So it's
It's like the new central store. We always believe that e-commerce is all about reduction, and central is now being redesigned on seduction.
Okay. Well, no, I take your point that personally I have online bought only books so far. So perhaps it's a long way before food will be purchased.
Secondly, I have a point to say which a lot of people still don't. If you look at online retailing, even in very old markets, the most emerged markets, if it's 8 to 10% of total retail business, 5% of that is coming out of omni-channel. It's not pure online. Online is a delivery mechanism or taking an order mechanism, but ultimately the product, goods and services which we have created over a period of time, we can sell it through technology.
Okay. No, Mr. Biyani, basically how much will food contribute? How much does it
I don't think so. Food
what
as a
part
business,
of your business is...
Food as a business on going online is the most difficult thing to happen.
Okay.
Very,
no,
very
I'm just
difficult.
asking you what part of your revenues comes from food?
I think as we go forward, 35 to 40% would be the revenues, and it will be similar today also. But we are also increasing
No,
our
I thought it was
business
reducing the
No,
amount.
but I think now we have a new outlay on food with the KB Swipe Price stores. We have plans to open 500 stores in Bombay, 500 stores in Delhi. So we have large plans on the convenience store chain. So I think that will expand our food business.
Okay.
And
So
putting up the food parks also, I think food business coming out of food parks alone would be, by 2018-20, will be 20,000 crores.
okay, by 2020. Where are your talks for the online? I mean, just to finish that online argument, where are your talks? I mean, you're still speaking with people.
I
Have
think
you shortlisted your online partners?
We are nearly there, another 2-3 days.
Okay, you will be able to announce your online partner. And it's more likely to be the foreign company.
We don't know.
Okay, still talking to all. It's still equal chance for the Indian and the foreign partners?
I think the money is still the same there.
Okay,
Everybody has foreign money only.
All right. You know, in that space itself, would you get into more backward integration because of the government of the day and the emphasis on cold chain and storage? Are you getting into that level of backward integration?
We have already done
cold
that.
storage?
I think the food park, we have created the largest backend for cold chain and various temperature distribution. We are also in the process of either build or buy cold chain logistics.
Okay.
I think
Would
very
that be
soon.
for merchant use or is it only for in-house use?
No, it's for merchant use. That's part of our supply chain logistic company, which will acquire or build on its own.
How much have you invested in that?
It's a huge investment. I think we have built one of the most modern consumer logistic company in form of future supply chain. Along with we have a joint venture partner there, and that business is doing very well. Today, 60% of business is outside the group, and we have very, very good accounts from whether it's a Tata Motors or ITC or any other consumer goods player.
Okay, and what is the rate of growth that you visualize for
That's growing at nearly
supply chain?
30-40% plus a year, maybe more.
And any number you have in mind for 2020 since you have a goal?
I think that will be more than 2.5 to 3,000 crore business.
Okay. Well, let me come to the fuel for all this, your payment bank. What are your plans with respect to that? Are you zeroing in on payment bank or would it be a small bank? I mean, if you can give us where you have solidified your plans there.
We have solidified our plans there. So the idea is whether to partner there with somebody or do it on our own. We believe the need for a payment bank or a technology solution by creating a kind of a debit card bank. How can one card become a bank? How can you deposit money? How can you withdraw money? How can that, maybe it's a mobile application. It can be used as giving some credit also based on the credit history, money transfers. So we have detailed out what is the business plan for this, and it's coming out to be huge.
Okay.
The opportunity of recruiting 4.5 crore customers exists for us, and I think that's a phenomenal exercise one can do.
So it will be a payment bank.
It will be a payment bank.
Okay. Have you tied up with, or are you likely to tie up with anyone for the payment bank?
Another 30 days.
Okay. And is it likely to be a telecom company?
No.
Okay. So it would be what? An online? What are the likely partners?
Let it happen.
Okay. What's the conversation with the Reserve Bank on this?
I think we have made our comments on the whole policy which they have set for ourselves and what entails the retailer to be a part of it.
Okay. Is there anything that you want to change in the rules?
I think we have given our comments.
If you can...
I don't know offhand exactly. We have been working on this for a while now. And I think we have made but we have a business plan in place now.
Okay, so small bank quite clearly is ruled out.
Yeah, that's ruled out.
Okay. Let me come to one area which I thought you ladies would be more interested in. It's nice that you're interested in food, but fashion. Where do you see that going, Ashni?
I think a new era of fashion is actually going to unveil itself in India. India is very inspired by various cultures, not only its own but varied other cultures as well. So we are in the process of conceptualizing new brands. We are in the process of rethinking the way we position our brands and also present our brands. Our focus is largely on making sure that we get the youth and the spirit of the youth in there. I think we already have very sharply positioned brands. We'll just involve the people lots more now with all these brands.
Okay. Mr. Biyani, the big problem over there is your debt. How do you see that? What is the total debt you have in the group company and in the retail entity? And how might it be, say, 12 months down the line?
I think Future Retail, which is the only company which has debt now, has a debt of around 6,000 crore plus. We believe we are coming up with a rights issue of 1,600 crores in the next few months. And another 400 crores of preferential which has already happened. So 2,000 crores of debt which we reduce, and we have multiple assets below it, which is we hold 20% or 17-18% of Future Lifestyle Fashion, 10% of Future Consumer Enterprise. We hold insurance companies, supply chain companies, and many other business, textile mills. We believe all these assets are valued more than 4,000 to 4,500 crores. We can sell 2,000 of that. And so the overall debt comes down to 2,000 crores. So from 6,000 crores to 2,000 crores, that's our plan for the next 12 months. And I think we want to do it faster than that.
Okay. Will you be looking for any equity partners in retail or in any of the other?
Nothing, because we have already announced a plan of 1,600 crores of rights issue, and that's done.
Okay. What is Ashni's view of the future of fashion and how the future group will participate in it?
I think we are already one of the most strongest players. I think the quantity that we sell of t-shirts, of bed sheets, of even home fashion is the largest in the country. I think we have a huge back-end synergy as well with the fashion business. We'll communicate to a new generation and hope that our brands appeal to this new generation. I think that's our large attempt now.
Okay. What really will come under the Future Consumer Enterprise, Mr. Biyani?
It's an entire food business, from manufacturing processing.
So Avni's piece also comes under the Future
Currently that's held in Future Retail.
Okay.
And but the convenience stores are the model, KB's Fair Price, Aadhaar, which is a wholesale distribution model, the Big Apple, and any other acquisitions which we do on the supermarket or the convenience store space. So it's a back-end, end-to-end integration of food business. So whatever brands we hold on the food side is held in Future Consumer Enterprise.
Okay. So in 2020, what will be the major contributions from food? You said about 35 to 40%. Where will the other 60% come from?
I think the business, the fashion business alone, which is currently at maybe around 7,000 crores for the group, I think that will also touch around 25 to 30,000 crores. Then is the home business, which will be also a substantial business. And then there are other categories which we sell.
Okay. So you're looking at the payments bank as part of these businesses. You're not seeing it as a separate profit generator.
No, they are part of the group in any case. And
of course, part of the group. But will it be a separate business and therefore in your...
I think payment bank will be a great thing for us because of the distribution chain which we have. Imagine, I think we have plans to do more than 5,000 convenience stores by 2020. And payment bank can be a great option out there. The other option is going to be even the distribution point for our online or omni-channel strategy. So the convenience store model helps a lot. Building our entire food backend, the convenience store will help us a lot. So we are building up a whole infrastructure and chain. It depends on how many cities convenience store we are able to build up.
Okay. Given a choice, Ashni, would you like a foreign partner or would you like an Indian partner in your digital businesses?
I think we look at partners as sambandhis. You know, they are like rishtas that we have. So everyone is welcome. We accept whoever that comes our way.
Okay.
Once they are a partner, they are a partner. So.
All right. Are you looking at any foreign or any Indian partnership in your business as well?
No, not really at the moment. We don't have plans to expand.
In fact, she has offers from everyone who comes and visits our stores. We have met many private equity players who have come and visited the store, and there are instances where people wanted to write a check there and then to take a stake in Food Hall.
Okay, should we expect something?
I think Food Hall is the most coveted, the most premium end store which we have created. And we don't think we need somebody there.
Okay, you think the business will pay for itself?
It's a profitable business, so very high margin business.
I was only fishing for some news on your partners in the payment bank and your partners in the digital business, but looks like you're going to get partners in food hall as well. Mr. Kishore Biyani, Avni and Ashni, thank you very much for joining us. We will look forward with interest. Maybe this interview should have been done a week later and we would have had names of your future partners, your future subdis as well. But it was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much for joining us and giving us a peep into the future of the Future Group. Well, that's what we got from the Biyani families, a peep into the future of the Future Group, and that looks extremely ambitious and lucrative at this point in time.